Come on, man, you do have to film what the hell happened for this, even with the cold.
Oh, please let this suffering end.
Oh yeah, and while you're at it, lose the onesie.
Lose the onesie? Do I look like I give a damn? Hello, I'm Jack from TheJackSmit.com. I'm full of the flu, but I still have to ask the important question. The BAFTAs. What the hell happened? So yes, in typical fashion, the BAFTAs did happen last night. I watched the 2-hour BBC cut-down broadcast of it. I don't get why they delay it in this day and age, because everyone knows the results on devices like these before it even goes to broadcast. But that doesn't stop us from going back through and critiquing what went down last night. It was a pretty good night for the favourite. 7 wins from 12 nominations. Very happy for Yorgos Lanthimos and his team. I've seen that film twice now. Once on my own, and again with some very good friends of mine on the Ukraine film production course. I've spoken a lot about them on Rip Ticket, so I don't need to go into too much detail there. But that was the big winner last night. Outstanding British film, both lead and supporting actresses for Rachel Weisz and Olivia Colman respectively. A lot of the technical awards too, can't really argue with that. Roma trailed behind with 4 wins, including Best Film. Big win for Alfonso Cuarón there. I'll be real, Roma was okay. I can understand why it's winning everything, but I think the only reason people are worried about it is because it's a Netflix film. And the industry seems to have a love-hate relationship with Netflix at the minute. I don't know why. But all in all, before we go into detail, it was a relatively controversy-free night for Hollywood. Not much shocks, but there was one, and we'll get to that in a minute. So your major wins, you can tell I'm ill because I'm using my iPhone for notes today. Outstanding British film went to the favourite. Best film went to Roma. Direction, again, Alfonso Cuarón Roma, who also won for cinematography. He was an all-rounder. It was a real passion project for him. And I know I was meant to review on last week's Rip Ticket, which I couldn't do because I could barely talk on Friday, believe me. Believe me, viewers, it was just getting back on this set was a struggle. But Roma was a very much a passion project for Cuarón. He wanted to tell this story the way he wanted to tell it, and only Netflix would really give him the money to do it. It simply wouldn't work in a mainstream multiplex cinema. I was chatting with my very good friend Zoltan about this a few weeks ago. It would work on the big screen, but whether certain chains would have the power to negotiate for it or not, well, that'd be another question entirely. In terms of the other technical categories, original music went to A Star Is Born. I was okay with this win. I was okay with this win because A Star Is Born, really good soundtrack, won so many Grammys last night as well. Is Lady Gaga the first person to win a Grammy and a BAFTA in the same night? I think she is. But there were other films which music could have been a lot more awards worthy. It felt more like a popularity vote in terms of the score this year, and it does increase its chances of winning the Oscar drastically. So who knows, maybe we could have a Greatest Showman situation on our hands again. Now, such is life. I'm actually filming this while I'm editing this. I forgot to mention a few awards, so there's going to be 2 little inserts of sorts to kind of address them. Screenplay-wise, if I can find my notes here. For original screenplay, The Favourite won. Took him 20 years to make that film. Very, 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 very happy. Added to that 7-win tally, went for adapted screenplay. And this made a lot of people happy. Spike Lee won for BlacKkKlansman. And he gave one of the best speeches tonight. Just seeing the Royal Albert Hall become a Spike Lee joint was something that a lot of people have been wanting to see for a very, very long time indeed. Just the level of commitment he put into that film, and it was a film that arguably needed to be made, and he had a great cast including Adam Driver and so many people. It was a big moment for him last night, and I'm very, 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 very glad to see that he didn't take it too seriously. He was his typical self. The other big win that I forgot to mention was animated feature. And surprise, surprise, Into the Spider-Verse 1. And I don't need to say anything, because just what a film. Just what a film. This award season is coming along very nicely indeed. Right, let me just triple check if I've hit everything. Costume favourite, makeup favourite, sound, Bohemian Rhapsody, editing, Vice, documentary, to Free Solo. Sonic contribution to number 9 films, who did On Chesil Beach, Carol and Collect, and I don't really need to talk about The Fellowship, so that's all of them covered. You'll see the other insert in a little bit, but right, back to more Me. Other big wins. We're not going to be talking about the short films or outstanding debut by a British writer, producer, director, because in my eyes, they're not high caliber of award, but they're an important award nonetheless. So congratulations to winners of those categories. You'll be able to find them online somewhere. For foreign language film, again, another big win for Roma. Netflix have really upped their game in terms of their commissions lately, and the fact that they've got all this awards attention, not just on Roma, but on Ballad of Buster Scruggs too, which was nominated for a few last night. What was it? I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know it is up for a few Oscars, including original song. It's going to be interesting come Oscar night to see how Netflix handle this. If they do put it in for more categories, and if they do really go all in on their campaign for 2020 Oscar night, this could be a seismic shift in the way the industry works. I mean, as I said in the last journal, as I was sat here nearly a month ago now, 177 million of you went to the cinema last year. But the fact that Netflix are putting out these big films, the fact that 70 million people watched Bird Box, which was an underwhelming film. I did finally get a chance to watch it. The fact that Netflix are really upping their game in the original content stakes is a big, big get. I completely forgot to mention Letitia Wright winning the BAFTA Rising Star Award. Now, people like James McAvoy and Will Poulter have won this award in the past, and it's the only award voted for by the public. But, she's a worthy winner, I can say that much. But she was up against some very fierce competition. I would have personally liked to have seen Lakeith Stanfield or Barry Keoghan win it for their work on Sorry to Bother You and Dunkirk and American Animals, respectively. But it is a worthy win for someone who was arguably one of the highlights of Black Panther and definitely one of the highlights of Infinity War, and very good PR for Marvel going in to the big endgame season, as I like to refer to it. This is a very big deal, and obviously Black Panther did win a few awards for VFX and all that kind of thing last night. So yes, right, end of filmed insert 2, back to the main take. But there was one very big, very important shock last night, and that was for the lead actor performance. The lead actor, well, we'll talk about supporting actor. Mahershala Ali won supporting actor last night. I can get behind him. I can really get behind him. Following up Moonlight with Green Book, very good choice. But Rami Malek won for Bohemian Rhapsody last night. Oh boy, that made my head explode more than this damn cold did. He did actually have the grace to thank Dexter Fletcher, which was a classy move considering BAFTA scrubbed Bryan Singer's name from every single Bohemian Rhapsody nomination on Friday, indicating that it had won something, but that does mean he's now the favourite to win the Oscar. But I think there's a very good reason why he won the BAFTA, and it's because it's the BAFTA. Us Brits love a Queen. And Brian May was sat there last night looking very, very happy indeed. Someone quite rightly tweeted that this could set a precedent for biopics. With a start, I'll try and flash the tweet up on screen if I'm medicated enough to edit this properly. Believe me, it's been an interesting few days. But I can understand why he won it. He did feel like Freddie. He got the mannerisms down. It's just a shame that the controversy surrounding the film and the controversy surrounding the subject matter of the film really did hit the awards chances. It's still playing at some cinemas, so if you haven't already seen it, go out and watch it to get your own opinion, because that's the best way you can judge a film, is by actually going out and watching it yourself. And we're literally talking about Bohemian Rhapsody in one of the modules I'm doing at uni at the minute, about how the idea of the rockumentary, the musical, and how that sort of shaped Hollywood at the minute, how they're having a resurgence of sorts. But all in all, the BAFTAs were a pretty enjoyable night. As for the show itself, because it was on at a respectable time for us British audiences, I can actually critique on that as well. Joanna Lumley, oh, some of those jokes didn't land. Some of the jokes that Andy Serkis came out with last night were actually funnier than what the host could come out with. But it does prove one thing, that us Brits know how to put on an award show all right. And we do also know how to make an award show last for 2 hours. So, Oscars, we hope you were watching last night, because us Brits know how it's done. Right, I'm going to get back into the guise of a very moody tiger and return to the coughing, the sneezing, and the associated goodness. But the good news is that I'm on the mend, and the very good news is that I'll be back on Rip Ticket on Friday, come hell or high water, with reviews of Roma, with reviews of Stan and Ollie, and mercifully Bird Box as well. All the reviews we were meant to do last week, this week as well. As for the blog, we're going to try and review the Lego Movie at some point this week. It is half term here in the UK, so trying to get cinema tickets, especially if you're a fully recliner site that might have missed out on Mary Queen of Scots. Yes, they did come to an agreement just after the journal went out. Their bigger sites are playing it, but not Preston. Not Preston. Might have to have a chat with them about that. It's almost like there's another cinema on standby that I might use to watch Mary Queen of Scots. Actually, I won't bother, it didn't win anything last night. But yeah, a lot of content on the way. As soon as I've shaken this cold off, we'll be in production on Journal 9. No idea what it's going to be about, but we shall see. As for what your thoughts on the BAFTAs, you know what to do. Comment below if you've seen it last night. Tell us what you thought. You can tweet me at TheJackSmit. Oh, right. This is why I have 5 litres of water handy. Because just talking for 10 minutes non-stop has been difficult. I've been Jack from TheJackSmit.com, and that was What the Hell Happened. Oh, thank God that's over. Oh.